Nate is in the Coast Guard and has been serving for over 10 years. He's not a liar or a storyteller, but a practical and honest man. He has no interest in horror or superstition. Nate shared this incident during the summer of 2022. I made him repeat the story several times. Every time, the details remained exactly the same. The event took place in 2017 when Nate was sent to Matinus Rock for a 2-week duty. It's a remote, rocky island. You can only reach it by boat or helicopter. The island has only one lighthouse and a small equipment shed. There's no electricity, water, or mobile signal. The lighthouse is automated but still requires periodic maintenance. Usually one person is sent, but this time they sent two. The second person was Russell. The first few days were routine, wind, boredom, and repetition. Maintenance work during the day, rest, cards, and books at night. Everything seemed completely normal. On the fourth night, Nate woke up feeling strange. He wasn't sick, just felt the air was heavier than usual. It felt like the atmosphere before a lightning strike, but the sky was clear. The beacon light had stopped, even though it always ran continuously. Nate woke Russell, and they both went upstairs. The gears were still turning, but the light wasn't moving. A large, wet, foul-smelling piece of cloth was jammed in the mechanism. The cloth was soaked with moss and smelled rotten. The doors were shut. It was impossible for birds or wind to get in. They removed the cloth and went back down. The next night, the light failed again. This time, a red scarf or shawl was stuck in the mechanism. It was soaked and had small sea creatures on it. Now Nate began to suspect it wasn't just a coincidence. They checked everything. All doors and windows were locked. They started to suspect something might have gotten inside. They began blocking the stairwell with heavy crates. Every night, they locked the beacon room and the main entrance. On the seventh night, Nate was lying down when he heard Russell talking to someone in the corner. Later, Russell said he hadn't been talking at all. That same night, Russell sat by the window and said he saw someone on the rocks. He said the figure stood just at the edge of the light. When the light rotated back, the figure had vanished. Russell became stranger, stopped sleeping, stared for hours. He spoke less to Nate and started complaining about voices in the walls. On the ninth night, they heard footsteps on the stairs. Both were downstairs, but the steps were coming from above. Neither of them had gone up. They confirmed it. The silence afterward was even more terrifying. That night, they barricaded the bedroom door and slept with knives. On the 11th night, the light stopped again. When they got to the top, the door was wide open, completely. The bulb had been unscrewed and placed on the floor. That bulb can't be removed by hand easily. Nate felt something cold brush his back. He turned around, but no one was there. Russell claimed he saw a hand come out of the wall. Both ran downstairs and locked themselves in. Nate didn't sleep all night, and Russell kept whispering to the wall. The next morning, Nate used the emergency phone to call for help. He lied, saying there was a mechanical issue. A boat arrived in the afternoon. The crew asked who had made the 2:12 a.m. distress call. Nate said he hadn't touched the phone until daylight. The crew said someone had said, "Someone is here." Then the call cut off with static. Russell stayed silent the entire ride back. A few months later, Russell left the Coast Guard. He never told anyone what really happened. Nate still goes on duty sometimes. But he says, "I'll never go back to Matinus Rock."